Hello and welcome to the Goa Open Arts Festival and Art History Plus podcast. This video is brought to you by La Ananta Absinthe, Liquid of the Legends. It's India's only, and I would think it's the best, absinthe brand. It's a new category in alcohol. People have whiskey and people have wine. This is absinthe. It's pretty famous because Van Gogh used to drink it in France. There was a ban, but it's a fantastic drink. I suggest all of y'all to check it out when you have the time. We have with us an amazing artist, Mansi Trivedi. She's an old friend, and I've been wanting to interview her for a long time in various capacities. She's a very good teacher. She's a very good artist. As a printmaker, she was also my batchmate when I was in college. And over the years, we've been close, and I've kind of like seen her progress. I'm really happy to have a conversation with her right now. There's a lot to learn from her, actually. As a person, she cooks really well, really good Gujarati food. But apart from that, she's a very sensitive person, and she makes you pause, stop, relook at things. That's why we actually sometimes need art. Sometimes I remind myself of what is the purpose of it. It's people like her, it's artists like her that make you realize things. You've got to stop, pause, give time, and it'll make sense. It's a very mature kind of thought to actually have. It's not like a fleeting Instagrammer's moment where you just have less retention time. In fact, her work, I look at her work as an act of protest in the times we live in today. She's actually making you'll hear these conversations as she speaks. I learned a lot in this conversation, and I think that it's a short podcast. I think it's like 10 to 15 minutes. Just hang on, listen to what she has to say, make up your mind. And if you have something to say directly to her, please leave it in the comment section below. Thank you. Let's start the conversation now. Hello, and welcome to this amazing episode of Goa Open Arts and Art History Plus podcast. We have with us Mansi Trivedi. Mansi Trivedi is an old friend, but more importantly, she's an artist. She's a participating artist in the Goa Open Arts this year in 2024. She's done some fantastic charcoal works, and I can't help myself but visit her space again and again. We'll try to put some footage of your work. I was there on the first day when she came to see the site, and she was mapping something with a tape, and she was like taking measurements, and I had no clue what she's doing. Looks like I thought she'll do some performative piece, but she's put up this suspended installation, which is fantastic. Mansi, I'm going to ask you questions regarding about being an artist, and also since you're an old friend, मेरे 2000 रुपए वापस कभी लौटाएगी?
What?
I'm joking. Okay, you are now an artist in this festival. What did you write to the Goa Open Arts Festival in the PDF that made them say yes to you?
So the idea was to work with 5 elements that we are surrounded with, which is fire, earth, air, void, and water. So that was the work that I'd already started working on last year, and it just felt like the right time to propose a project which had separate layers. When I say separate, very specifically is because until the previous work, I would say, I would kind of add so many layers for a piece to become one. But then I also thought that why not separate and maybe just suspend it instead of just taking support of the wall all the time. So that was the idea. And to make it more interactive, I asked this friend who is also an artist, Tenzin, if he could add some sounds. So that was our basic conversation and how it kind of led us here today.
This work has an audio profile also?
Yes. So
Okay.
it's it's not set yet because lights and everything was going on. So along with a meditative piece, which is going to be a constant sound, there are different sounds of fire, water, all of these elements somewhere.
Nice.
And so, yeah, that was the idea. But it's always like you imagine something, envision something, but then how it actually comes out in real when you are on site. I think those are the challenges.
Sure. I mean,
At the same time, it's very adventurous.
it's a creative process.
Yes.
So you're you're confidently entering the space knowing that there will be changes, mixes that are open.
Yes,
they're
because
open.
when I had started creating this work, I had seen it as one stacked behind the other, stacked in a sense, suspended. Yeah. And that creating some sort of plane itself. But then how it kind of moved into a space where I want to use those 4 layers as walls,
Nice.
and the 5th being suspended on the
Ceiling.
from the ceiling is, yeah, it kind of, lot of improvisations happened along the way, and I'm more than excited for tomorrow.
Sure. I always want to do a podcast with you. I got this chance. So I'm going to go with this question which is, you bloody love charcoal. Like, I come to your studio and there's charcoal. There's just charcoal and more charcoal and more charcoal. I asked Diptej as an artist this question many years ago. Are you hiding in the dark?
No, I am not.
No, artists use darkness nowadays in their work to kind of like, they use darkness to their advantage to kind of like play within, to have the work as dark as possible so that the nuances of color gradations, shifting in tones, handling can be slightly, there's a wave, I can see it, there's a darker wave now. So I want to ask you, like, you use charcoal so much and you've been using it since last 10-15 years. I know you since MSU Baroda. Even in your printmaking career, you had black was a very dense central identity for your works. Can you make other people fall in love with charcoal?
I think I would come to charcoal later, but I love black as a color.
Yeah.
So how I got introduced to black was in printmaking specifically, because for taking a proof print, that's the best color in which you'll understand how much of line etch is done, equa is done, around it is done. And in color, I think those depth and intensity gets lost.
That's right.
In a way. So I think that was the starting point of me falling in love with black. And then it just happened that whatever mediums are kind of providing black, say Chinese ink, charcoals and watercolors and gouache and whatever it could be, I just fell in love with those. So coming back to charcoal, I would say there's something with hand and, kind of giving those gradations and feeling that black on your hand and feeling that this is how you've...
The work is done by rubbing charcoal by hand?
If there are bigger surfaces, fingers help. If there are smaller surfaces, there are other tools that help.
Sure.
But I really like to see that and just, have that effect and see grades of grays happening to the black.
You see your practice as a more denser form of drawing, or are you still painting? Even though you fill up the canvas so much with black, you almost, there's a painterly quality, but you're, according to me, technically you're drawing. So, when someone asks you, are you drawing or are you painting? It's all a stupid question any which ways, but since we have you over here right now, I just want to ask you, because you've also been doing printmaking, and according to me, you only do drawing. I look at them as drawings.
I haven't done printmaking in a while now. I think mostly after 2014. So I'm not in touch with that. That does not mean I would not want to go back to it. But I don't know if I say it as a drawing or a painting. I think I'm creating.
Sure.
So it includes then everything, use of different materials and just layering it. And
Can we talk about the way you title your works? Tell me 3 titles of your works for this exhibition. You just showed me the I just saw these works and the images. Your choice of choosing, you use the word untitled a lot in many of your older works. Now, what are these works called?
Untitled, I haven't kept my works. I think I have a little disliking with untitled as a word for so much happening in that piece.
Sure. There's so much meaning that calling them untitled is kind of like it defeats the purpose.
Kind of doesn't defeat the purpose, but it's more like कुछ तो थोड़ा टाइटल पे भी मेहनत कर लेते हैं, you know. I mean, if you've put so much of your heart into an artwork or creating something, I think the name of that artwork equally holds that space. 3 titles, if you ask me suddenly, I'm not going to remember it, but still I can tell you. One is Genesis, Remnant, Avalanche. So I think this process I got into mainly after me taking my works as a subject for my thesis in masters, to understand what am I doing, where is it coming from, what am I exactly trying to express.
Can you tell us what you're exactly trying to express?
So I take these inspirations of forms and surfaces that are around us every time, but we kind of don't stop by to look at it, to kind of
look once more at it.
Yeah, and feel awed by it. You know, like there's so much happening in detail that when we just go through a larger picture, we miss on to those details.
Sure.
And maybe my eye likes to capture those details.
Subtle nuances in the world which nobody else is looking at.
Yes. And yeah.
Wow. That's a tough job, yeah? It's like you...
It doesn't feel like a job. So I think that's why it becomes just very organic.
Sure. And you stay in Goa, you work from Goa, there's lots to see. You also like texture. Can we have a conversation about texture? Because you've, through your works, have always been somebody who spoke of texture. Your works have a lot of textural elements in them. I remember they almost have like this, the skin like, or this natural bark of a tree kind of look to them. I mean, you like surfaces in general. Yes. How did that happen? Like, what is? Is it just a visual element for you, or is also like something conceptual or something about the context of what you're trying to say through?
I think it started with the visual in the initial stages of this practice, but how it has become a little conceptual in terms of what specific materials I'm choosing to recreate those textures, or maybe what that material can make you feel like or take you to some other space. So the materials have become a little more specific, conscious, and yeah.
That's nice. Do you plan to, do you have a new color in your palette that...
Oh yes, I am coming back to my scarlet, red and mauve.
Oh wow. These works also have a little color.
A bit, yes.
A bit color. When someone comes and experiences this work without anything written, if let's say there's nothing written, anything, what do you want people to experience through the installation? There's no text, nobody knows, there's nothing to read, there's just something to see. When somebody comes there, what is your principal motive of doing the work? And so the question is, what would you want people to experience? What should they expect?
Okay.
What are you thinking?
I want people to slow down. Sure. When I say slow down, because
are you talking to me?
No, I'm generally talking of the world.
Yeah.
Slow down, take a minute to just sit, lie down underneath that layer, feel whatever is done around you with amplification of the sound that you're hearing. So I think what I am wanting audience to take away home is an experience, which at the moment is just the visual sense and the auditory sense. But yeah, eventually I would like to add so much of um, movement to it, maybe, or some sort of projection, some sort of play happening.
Okay, let's just sell Goa now. You were in Baroda with me in MSU Baroda when we were doing our masters together, and then I did something in Bombay. I went all over. You from Baroda came to Goa. You're one of those people who shifted to Goa.
Okay.
Wherever you go, someone, oh, even you shifted to Goa. So I would like to tell people that she's one of the original OG people who shifted to Goa like many years ago before the COVID batch shifted to Goa. So you've been in Goa for quite some time.
6 years.
Let's talk about an artist living in Goa. How does it help you? What are the benefits of working from Goa for you specifically? Because your practice also has this textural quality, this slowness, this calmness that I get. Can you just sell the
I think it takes a while to sink in the rhythm of how Goa and the pace is coming from a city. But once you get to know the workings around it, I think I like it because it provides me events that are so fulfilling that I can go and attend and bring something back home. At the same time, it's
nice.
a tiny bubble, so I can just go in my cocoon, produce some work, not meet anyone. So I have solitude, at the same time I have socializing. So I think a balance of both is great for me.
You are also a teacher.
Yes.
Do you have students coming over and kind of like, or younger artists influencing your practice in any way?
I am sure subconsciously it's all
But
learning
no
and
colors.
no. I mean,
Because colors,
I
children.
don't have problem with colors, It's just a palette that I am more closer to, the browns and the ochres and reds and mauves,
Sure.
and not more of yellows and blues
Sure.
so far.
Sure.
You never know what happens tomorrow, but
Okay, let's end this conversation with you and Goa Open Arts Festival, where you basically do you have anything specific that you want to say to the Goa Open Arts people who come for the Goa Open Arts Festival, or to the team, Diptej, Sitara, Gopika, or anybody, to say anything? Thank them, abuse
Sure.
them. Say
I mean,
something
I
good,
am
bad.
super blessed and grateful to be here. It's almost like I imagined something to create an experience, and I am seeing it happen. So from some artwork just lying around your house to creating a space, and it coming together so smoothly and easily, I think that's just wow. So in my head, I was like, oh my God, I have to hang so many things, and the light and the
Yeah.
sound and
Yeah.
but then it was just so smooth. Like, there are amazing people, volunteers who are so sweet and so kind and so helpful, along with all these people who are helping with the ladder and hanging. It's amazing.
It's a festival.
Yeah.
It's
And
yeah.
it just makes things for us so much easier and not stressful. That's the best part.
Sure.
So I'm really, really thankful to all of them. Prashant, Sitara, Gopika. I haven't really interacted much with Diptej, but yes, all of them.
Sure.
Like, it has been a great experience.
That's really sweet. Can you look into that camera and say some beautiful, good words about Artistry Plus, this podcast, and ask people to subscribe to this channel? And on that bombshell, we'll say bye.
So, guys, please like, share, and subscribe Artistry Plus, which is amazingly handled by Vaibhav, who is not just running this platform but is an old friend from Baroda. So please do like and share and subscribe. And do come visit us at Goa Open Arts Festival from 23rd to 28th at Old GMC. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.